I think it's funny when you add a little bit of money to a sport and you give some girls attention, what they can do with it. I think everyone should take a page out of our book and really put some more time and effort into women's everything.
Welcome to Breaking the Glass Hockey Podcast. We're talking women's hockey from the PWHL to the NCAA. We'll be talking with players, builders, coaches, and fans who have made this great game what it is today. It's time to educate, empower, and elevate. Let's go!
Welcome back. Episode 24. As a podcast, we're almost legally old enough to rent a car, right? You have to be 25 to rent a car, I believe.
I don't know if this day and age is like that anymore, but
well,
sure.
We're almost there. We're almost at the quarter century mark. It's Brownie and Linda. We're back for a weekly roundup. How you doing, buddy? You all right?
Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah, welcome to the club. That's what we should have called this, instead of weekly roundup, old and tired.
Yeah. I mean, I think I told you when we were talking that I'm pretty sure since the Sunday before Thanksgiving, I had been in Boston 2 trips.
Yep.
And I don't know, 14 days, 13, 14 days. Tiring. I've been to 2 Fleet games. 3 Northeastern games. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. Mass conference for women. Did we do a podcast since?
No, we talked about it, but we haven't done one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were there at Mass conference for women promoting the Bean Pot.
Yep.
And 11,000 attendees there. Pretty killer keynote speakers. Was awesome. Simone Biles, Mel Robbins. Just to name a few. And
is Mel Robbins, is that the woman who's the 1, 2, 3 go? Is that her thing? Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep.
Yeah.
I was right around it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool though, because I listened to her on an interview once and she talked about it. Like, I didn't go in depth, but I remember there's a few times like I had a late hockey game, the alarm goes off in the morning and I'm like, oh my God. And I've actually thought about that. And I'm like, all right, just 1, 2. But of course I was doing it backwards. I was like 1, 2, 3, go. But it's
whatever works for you.
Yeah. But that interview stuck with me. Yeah, she's an interesting person.
Yeah, so she's awesome. I follow her, but I really started with her second book. I think it's her second book, The Let Them, and then I learned about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 after. But it was cool because we were in an exhibitor space, but it was next to the rooms where they were speaking. So you could just walk over to the door and kind of just stand in the doorway.
Cool.
And listen. And they didn't really like kick people out or anything. I mean, people paid a lot of money to attend it. But it was cool. It was great. I mean, we had the Bean Pot with us, the actual trophy, and people that knew about it were holding it and taking pictures, and people that didn't, we were able to tell about it. And yeah.
That's right. We were leaving Matthews at the same time, and you and Mary were in the car in front of me, and I saw you guys come out with the trophy, and I was like, hey, 2 ladies just made off with the Bean Pot. I texted you. That's right.
That was like pee your pants, like laughing. We were laughing so hard.
What are the odds of all the people at the game that I'm directly behind you while you're holding up traffic? That was funny.
Yeah. And hey, you just saw 2 ladies get in a minivan with the Bean Pot. That's exactly what happened. We were driving around with we took it to Aganis that night.
That's right. Yeah, for the Fleet.
Played Vancouver.
Yep.
Which was really cool to see Vancouver. Although I can't say we ended up in this space at Aganis. It's not as open as Songus. So you can walk around Songus and you can pretty much see the game while you're walking for the most part on the ends. But at Aganis, it isn't as much like that. So we had to run down the stairs and look every time there was a goal and then come back up through the concourse, just trying to get people to buy tickets. But I got this sweet sweatshirt.
Oh, nice.
It's this sleeve.
Nice.
And it's so comfy and cozy. And so.
Actually, this isn't in the document, but did you see that the Fleet is now selling game worn stuff? It's a new thing they're doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shit. I should have had the website, but if you search Fleet game worn, I'm sure it'll pop up. But yeah, I was looking because I need a new set of gloves, and there's some Hillary Knight Fleet gloves that are pretty reasonable. Oh, wow. I'm like, that's pretty cool. There was a Katie Knoll helmet. My daughter was like, I'm like, what are you going to do with Katie Knoll's helmet? But it was pretty cool.
It's
Oh,
Christmas.
trust me. If the camera could pan down right here, there's a pile of stuff for my daughter, including some PWHL boxes. So she's well
Awesome.
represented. Well
Yeah,
represented.
they have great gear. We decided to be matchy. So Mary wanted to buy one, and then she ended up buying Molly and I one as well. She's like,
Oh,
"You guys
nice.
need to have this," and I was like, I'm not going to say no to that." So, but I've been at a lot of hockey rinks and, P-Dub, and then just promoting the Bean Pot. The grind is on. We were like, oh gosh, 5 weeks away here.
Yeah, what was
Um,
it? I saw the thing that Molly must have done, the 41 days with a picture of Constantinople. It
countdown.
was good. Yeah,
Yeah,
she gonna do that every day with different players?
yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
Smart.
So we have a few more students working with us, helping with some social media. But Molly Pritz does.
Yeah.
God, thank God for her. Is
Yeah,
all I
she's a
can
rock
say.
star for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump in here. Let's do some cleanup first. We were talking about the previous round of the takeover tour that you were at, and we were talking about the size of the arenas versus closed, open, how many people they would let in. So the Rocket Arena, with the balcony closed, it's just about 9,500, 9,447. The full
Okay.
rink is 18,926. So it's pretty significant there. And then KeyBank Center Arena, with the balcony closed, approximately 9,500, so roughly the same. And that's a little bigger at 19,070. So
Yeah, but I think the point I was trying to make is that didn't we say that attendance was like 8,000 or something? A
yeah,
little over
yeah,
8,000? It didn't seem full.
right. Well,
So,
it's less than half. Yeah.
well, no, I mean in the bowl. I mean, forget the
Down
balcony
low.
because they don't even open the balcony
Was
in
there
a lot of these
people
games.
was there a lot of stuff going on in the concourse that people are up and back, up and back? No.
I don't think
Were there
so. I don't
exhibits and
know.
stuff? People doing stuff? Was there like a Jock and Jill's?
Again, like we're a little confused here with Buffalo, right? Like we thought
Yeah.
a lot of Canadians would come. There was, talk about them not coming over the border. I think it's just in the energy and like going back to the fleet, like their fans. The game I was at against Vancouver was a Wednesday night.
Mm,
It wasn't great attendance. I don't know what the total ended up being. I should have looked it up before we came on, but because I know the game on Sunday when they played the Frost had 4,000 plus.
mm,
Again, it's a Sunday versus a Wednesday night. But the Fleet fans travel so well. They're
mm.
loud. They're
Yeah.
just loud. Even when it's August, they're not selling out. They're just loud. They're into it. They're very active fans.
Dedicated. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that was it. Just the vibe.
And then the other part of cleanup, after we had Delaware's Caitlin Finnegan on, the very next game after the podcast, she went out with 2 goals, with the first shorthanded goal in program history in 5 blocks. So a nice little breaking the glass bump for Finn.
Finny doing Finny
Yeah,
things.
yeah, that's it. Not bad. Yeah. So any other
Awesome.
players that are listening, you want that bump? Come on the podcast. All right. So we're talking NCAA. Let's jump in here. Biggest movers in the polls. Princeton and Yale both moved up 2 slots. Princeton to 9, Yale to 14, and Cornell dropped 3 down to 11. I will say I wish I paid more attention to the polls when we weren't doing this podcast.
Mhm.
Like, do you remember, is that significant or is that just normal ebbs and
Like
waves?
dropping 3 slots.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a big drop.
that's not getting into the tournament right there
No, right. For sure.
because
Yeah.
11 don't get in because of the auto bids, so unless all the favorites win,
Right.
you squeak in there, right? Because remember the NCAA couldn't give us 12 teams. They had to
I
give
know.
us 11 so that it
So
was
tough.
exact same percentage
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the men's. So I mean, are you concerned about that? I don't know. I mean, you can't really. It's about the body of work, right? Like
Well,
I think that.
you're coming from a unique experience as a college NCAA D1 coach.
Mhm.
How much did you? And I feel like we've talked about this before, but were you aware, or was someone on your staff aware of the rankings at every given moment, or was it something that you looked at weekly? Or
I mean, I can honestly say that like only if I was, it was only because we were finally in them.
yeah, Oh, that's
So
true. Yeah.
that's the trajectory of where we were at. Like we
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
entering into the polls 2013-ish,
Hmm.
14, and that, I like to think I left that ship off in a good place now
Yeah.
where
Sure.
they're so
You laid the groundwork,
um
dude.
yeah, but I don't I think that coaches and even players are too smart and too dialed in on what they're doing to worry about slips like that and hope that that's not gonna like bite you in March. Like those, it's more about the losses and who you lost to
Right.
than it is about what had happened to you in the polls, because the polls are really about what everybody else is doing too, right? So
Yep.
I'd be more concerned about who the opponent was, where they end up, that kind of thing.
I will say though, and I'm speaking from like dealing with players, like as a coach, as a player, and talking to other coaches in the NCAA and how their players look at stuff. There's always the players that are looking at the stats constantly, right? That's part of the game. There's always, even in beer league, there are guys that are we played the other night, and the guys are like, "Oh, can I see the sheet? I just want to see how many shots on goal." Like, no, you're looking to see if you got the second assist, right? We all know what you're doing, but there's got to be coaches that obsess over the rankings. There has to be, just by human nature.
Well, it's kind of funny that you said that because we'll talk about this when we get to Hockey East. But I had a conversation with Katie LaChapelle at Holy Cross
Oh,
this morning,
nice.
and we were talking about something similar to that.
Okay.
So
All
when we
right.
get there, I'll
Nice tease.
share.
Nice tease.
Yeah,
Well, sticking with local, nice segue. Give a little shine to D3 Fitchburg State. They announced women's hockey as their 18th varsity program and will be competing starting next 27-28, and they will compete in the holy Jesus. The
you got this. You got this.
MASCAC. I know that's not right.
NASCAC.
I know that's not right.
That's terrible.
It's the
Can't be
Mass
right.
State Collegiate Athletic Conference. Mass. It's
Not
gotta be Mass.
not everything acronym has to be a word.
That's true. That's true. And it's the seventh member joining Plymouth State, Worcester State, Riviera, Anna Maria, the Mass Liberal Arts, and Framingham State. And if anyone's listening to this, I apologize for my pronunciation. I would still like to go and watch MASCAC hockey.
I
I'm
dare
gonna
you to
call
go
it that all
to
the
a
time
post
now.
game press conference and just drop it.
Hey, excuse me. How do you pronounce the league? Um, in the WCHA, Wisconsin, Kirsten Sims scored career point 200, and Wisconsin did a teddy bear toss on their last homestand of 2025 versus St. Thomas. How do you feel about teddy bear tosses? No?
Oh, where's my
Oh,
sound effects?
oh yeah, your son. A gong.
I mean, I guess I don't know the context of it. Was it like a fundraiser? Was
They're
it
always
going
fundraisers.
towards
Yeah,
something?
they usually give the teddy bears to like Children's Hospital and stuff like that, I think.
Okay, well then don't make me seem like an asshole then.
No.
I mean,
And to be fair, it was you making yourself look like that. Um, no, I just think it's fun. I love all that. And it's, you know what it is? When I lived in South Carolina, we had a ECHL team and a single A baseball team. And
mhm.
it was so fun because they did all the crazy promotions. You know what I mean? I just love that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that. Anyways,
I'm all for it then.
okay. Minnesota State and Bemidji State are set to play in the 2026 U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame Museum Women's Face-Off Classic. No acronym. The teams will square off on January 31st at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time at the Yanmar Arena in Grand Rapids. The game raises awareness and funds for the museum. Kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
cool.
I'm assuming that'll be a hot ticket, so it'll raise some good money, I would imagine. You
Yeah.
know, in the Yaha, Tessa Janicki notches career assist number 100, so good on her. And in over in the ECAC, a recent game between Clarkson and St. Lawrence saw the players arrive in their best youth hockey jerseys. It was all like like the best fits and all their walk-ins. They
Yeah.
all had on youth hockey. I just think that's cool. All that stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Northeastern just did that too for their final game.
Yeah, they
We'll
did
get there.
they
We'll get
dug
to
out the
hockey.
old ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they took throwbacks, like,
Yeah.
they like my jersey, I gave it, no one wore it.
Oh. I saw Berm.
But
Someone had Coach Berman's on.
yeah, someone had Berms. I think mine got ousted for Berms, which is totally fine.
Did he
Berms
get
is
it
like
back?
nice and roomy, and well, Berms has it. I
Oh,
mean, they must have had it as choices. She gave them a pile of stuff from
yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
four players. I mean, they had like original Beanpot jackets on and really cool
Yeah.
stuff. But my shirt was like, I don't blame them because it like almost looked orange instead of red. And it was
Oh,
that not stretchable, not breathable
yeah, yeah, yeah.
polyester.
Yeah, yeah,
But like it had like frills right here on the shoulder on both sides from my helmet catching the material.
oh, like
Like,
burrs? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, it was real sharp, real good looking. I'm sure I understand now why, when I described it, why it wasn't picked for the
As you
fits.
were talking, it clicked.
I was bummed though. I was like, oh, I don't really get into a lot of like ego stuff, but I was like, I can't wait to see my jersey come in. And then they came in, and I was like, I'm waiting. I waited by the Zamboni and waited for them to come in. They were taking pictures, and it was a whole to do. And I was like, oh, all right, I'm gonna have to get my jersey back.
Um,
Oh, good.
Before we get to the rest of the hockeys,
Yeah.
the new Assumption goalie, sophomore Layla Fournier got her first career win and a shutout as the team got the weekend sweep over St. Mike's last weekend. So good on her. And
Cool.
now Hockey East. I hate it that we have more on Hockey East. I don't know if it's more stories or our bias, but
How
I
your
gotta
brain's
work on this.
wired.
I got to work on this. BU recently set a new program record and a Hockey East record with an attendance of 3965 for a game mid-November against BC at Aganis. So good on them.
Yeah.
That was a nice one.
Mhm.
Northeastern captain Lily Shannon leading all Hockey East players in points. And I think she's, I'm going to mess this up. I think she's tied for 8th nationally, I believe.
Yeah, I think she is. I did see that last week. She's just clutch.
Oh, she's unbelievable. Holy Cross, speaking of La Chapelle, Abby Horning now owns the most career victories in net in the Hockey East
Yeah.
era, so good for her. UNH came in and played spoiler, and they beat Northeastern to hand the
Yeah.
Huskies their only home loss in the final season of Matthews. And I gotta say, I think I wrote it in my write-up. I'm like, you don't have the opposing head coach do the ceremonial puck drop if like talk about firing up your team, Good on
That
Hillary
was
Wood, but
that was like oddly amazing.
yeah.
Um, I am close with Hillary and was so like grateful to be in the building for that. Her family came, and so I was able to hang out with them for a little bit. And I texted her after the game, just said, "Nice win," like had a little tone to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she said thanks, and I said I'm so happy. She said she was like really happy that I was there, in person. I was I'm
Yeah.
so glad I got to see a huge win for you in the flesh. And I said, I think this is this old building's way of thanking you for those 208 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was she wouldn't probably, well, no, she did say it. I think she said it. She posted it on social media. She was very emotional
Yeah.
about it. Even the puck drop, she was like feeling like a little emotional. And then her team gave her like the player of the game
Oh, that's
after
awesome.
in the locker room. So I think she was feeling all the feels there, and she wasn't able to make it on the Saturday
Right.
for the final game. So yeah, really great win for them. They're a great gritty team, and obviously we don't want to see our Huskies lose, but it was kind of serendipitous the way it happened for her.
I will say, and a good thing about UNH is they've had some uphill battles in the previous seasons, but I will say one thing that they do, which is kudos to Coach Witt, is that when they're down, they don't get dirty.
No,
They
yeah,
play
yeah, right,
hard,
right.
and
I've
there's a
heard
lot,
this.
not a lot, but there are some teams that I've seen over the years that get down by 3 goals, and then it's all
Yeah.
elbows and slashes, and it's refreshing. And I think the coach impacts the way the team plays. It's like a pyramid,
Yeah, and we did. I was there with Mary and Molly, and we had to do a Beanpot interview in
Yep.
between. Was it after the first that they were down
Like,
3-0? No, after the second.
yeah.
Yeah. So we had to go in the offices and do an interview. So it took a little time, and we came out. It was 3-2, and I was like, "Oh, what
Yeah.
happened?"
Yeah.
But they are that's their identity. I feel like is they don't give up,
Mm.
and they have a lot of I feel like they have a good amount of comeback wins.
And I will say in all the memories of Matthews over the weekend and everything, and all the Northeastern players and alumni and fans and
Mhm.
support staff, everyone's going to have all these great memories. Those UNH players are going to remember that too. They're going to remember that final game at Matthews
And
for
I
them.
think I remember the story that Lily Shannon and the UNH captain went to school together.
Yeah, they're buds. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So I don't know, and she
yeah,
scored the game winner.
yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
yeah.
well, last thing about hockey is Providence College head
Mm.
coach Matt Kelly reached 100 wins for his career. So stick taps for Matt Kelly. Tell us
You
about
stick
your
that in
convo
Tony.
with Katie LaChapelle.
Yeah, so I talked to Katie this morning, tried to catch up with her a little bit about her team. Definitely going to have her come on the pod and
She's the
do an
head coach of
interview.
Holy Cross. For
Head
anyone
cross,
doesn't not sure.
head cross.
Did I say head cross? Sorry.
Friday. There's only water in this, I swear. But so yeah, we chatted about her team, and what's crazy is that like we just chatted about looking at the record. I'm like, you have more wins now than you did all of last year.
Yeah.
It's a pretty not necessarily I don't want to call it a common evolution. I had this experience at Northeastern, but where sort of you're in a tricky spot, you're not quite winning, but you have to measure progress. So you measure progress by how many like 1-goal games or shootout losses.
Right.
And that's, the trajectory of, I think their record was like 10-20 last year. And that's where they were. They were in that place of, hey, it's not necessarily coming out as a win, but we see progress. We see that we're evolving. We see that our players are continuing to develop. Anyway, what she described to me that she feels like is happening this year, and this isn't undershooting anything, is she just the weekends where they're going in and they're expecting that they'll hope for a split, right? Hope
Yeah.
for a split, because it's just like going into like Gutterson and Vermont, it's hard to play there.
Yep.
To like she said, to sweep Vermont, you're riding on something good, right? And she said they just have had more sweeps than splits. And obviously they welcome that. But she can see the momentum of her team building, and
Good.
that our players are carrying themselves different way. And that, obviously everybody like that is involved with it, from, strength and conditioning staff to coaches, they're finally getting payback for the work they're putting in.
They put in the time for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And they play hard. And
They play a
so
tough schedule.
and they have young leadership, right? So they have like, 2 juniors who have letters, and so they are starting to get to that place where maybe the juniors already know, maybe next year the sophomores will already know what it's like to win, because winning is learned, right? In a
Yep.
lot of ways. And yeah, we had a really good conversation, but when we going back to the stats and looking at the rankings, and she said, I don't really look at stats, and I don't really like slice and dice where we are in standings. But I found myself going to the standings and saying, if this team loses and that team wins, we'll drop 2 slots, or, and she's like, she's like, I realized I just needed to shake it off and do what I do and not focus on that anymore. And she's like, you can really go get in the weeds with that. I
Yeah.
mean, and when you're talking in the context of not the national picture, but like your league, you're playing for a bye. You're trying to get the bye in the first round so that you don't have to play an additional game. And really their team message right now is anything can happen. Can we win a Hockey East championship? Absolutely.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
anything could happen on any given weekend, especially in Hockey East. I think there's a lot of parity right now. And I mean, Northeastern's, sort of cranked up the gear at the end, second half of
The
the
second half of the
first half.
first half.
Second half of the first
Yep.
half.
I'm with you.
But yeah, she was just I think their PK is number 1 in the country. The middle of her roster is like really where the like silent contribution is happening. And yeah, and she just is obviously really pleased and happy with her team.
I will say I like her. I don't know her, but
Mhm.
and my impression of her is that I like a coach that, I mean, I like whatever. Everyone's got their own style, but I like the fact that she shows emotion on the bench.
Yeah.
a little bit. I mean, she's not like over the top, but if there's a call she disagrees with, and
Yeah.
if there's a play that she disagrees with, and I prefer that in my coach. Like if I was a
Yeah.
player, so I respect her. And she's always very candid in her post game interviews, also, which I also respect. And uh, she doesn't throw she doesn't do those like half like backhanded digs at the opponent. She's very much like, yeah, we got out skated or out hustled, or they played great, or you know what I mean. I just respect that. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about their split down at Delaware because
Mm.
her and Kumi are so close. Allison Kumi and Delaware head coach, coached at BU for a long time together. My road roomies they were. So we talked about that win, and she was like, I know. She's like, obviously I don't want to have that loss, but at the same time, like, you get to be present for her win. It's kind of like the
Right.
Hillary
Take the sting out
Northeastern
of it.
thing.
Yeah.
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 So, but we had a good chat. Their future is bright, and we'll have her on and have
Cool.
her jump into her roster and her players a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some of those games in the second half because they're not too far from me. So
Yeah.
be cool. All right. Speaking of leadership and new leadership from the PWHL, some new leadership around the league with the expansion teams and players getting taken. The New York Sirens, Micah Zandy Hart as the captain, Sarah Fillier, Jamie Bobigny, I'm going to go with, as the alternates. The Fleet, Megan Keller, the captain, Alita Mueller, and Jamie Lee Rattray as the alternates. For Seattle, Hillary Knight, first captain in team history, with Emily Brown and Alex Carpenter as the alternates. And then the Vancouver Golden Eyes, Ashton Bell, first captain in history, with Sarah Nurse and Claire Thompson as the alternates. So pretty much who you'd expect in most of them, I would say. Maybe a couple surprises in there, but solid all the way
Yeah.
through,
I mean, I'm not saying everybody's a captain of a pro team or everybody's even a captain, but you're getting to this level and this caliber of athletes, and
It's hard to mess it up.
you could have,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then talking about expansion, Amy Shear, who's been on fire with her quotes as of
I
late,
know.
she came out and said, next year we're expanding again. It's either 2 to 4 teams. If I were a betting woman, I'd say it would be 4. And then I think we'll hold it 12 teams for a bit. That's exciting news. So
Yep.
there's a lot, right, to unpack there with 4 new teams. That's what, 120 players, 30 players roughly, 25? 125 to 135 players because they have the kind of the floating, off and on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of players that didn't find homes this year. There's another class coming next year. I wonder what they're going to do for expansion this time around. If they're going to do the same, they're going to do it the same way. They're going to do it different. There's a lot of, it's interesting. That'll be good
It
stuff to
seems to
talk
be the
about over the
model,
summer.
though. It
What's
seems
that?
to be the model. It seems
Yeah.
to be the model. I
Yeah.
think, and maybe we'll have to go back and get our ducks in a row here so that we know something when we're talking about it. But I feel like when they do an expansion that close, like back to back, like you can't touch like Seattle and Vancouver, or maybe
I
you
would
can, but it's less players.
maybe more
They
protected.
can protect more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something like that that definitely kind of protects the integrity of what you just did.
I will say that the league's pretty much been batting 1,000, right? Maybe a misstep here or there, but overall, they haven't messed up much. So I'd imagine this will work out. But I think that's exciting. That's another 4 teams. That's sick,
Yeah, we'll have to start to hedge our bets on what it's going to be. We'll watch this takeover tour, right? It's not going to
Yeah.
be Buffalo.
You think it's going to be Buffalo?
It's not going to be Buffalo. No.
I think it's going to be Detroit and Chicago. I think those are you 2 for U.S. markets.
Really? Not Denver?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I just pulling for Quebec City still. That's my hope for those poor
Quebec's in Canada.
No, I know, but there's 4 teams. I know where Quebec is. Shut up. Minnesota traded Anna Sagidi to Vancouver for Denisa Krasova, which I think
Yay.
they just wanted her back in Minnesota. It was what it boils down.
Yeah, I saw her on Saturday.
Oh, did you? Yep.
Yeah, because you could have sent you my little picture of us from the
I'll
ice.
put it up when we get to Matthews.
Well, no, I have a picture with her, like, because I hadn't seen her. I
Sorry.
recruited her to Northeastern, so she's one of my favorite people. Her and Kendall were able to come because, and Katie, I should leave
Yeah,
Katie out,
yeah.
because they were playing the Fleet the next day. So they flew in, the Frost flew in at like 1:30. The game started at 1:30, so they were there by the second period for sure. So that was really awesome. That's just timing wise.
When we get to the last game at Matthews, I have something I have to confess to you. That's you're not going to be thrilled with me.
On air.
Oh yeah, I saved it for now. Seattle sold out their home opener and set a U.S. record with 16,014 on hand.
Yeah.
Which did a few things. One, it set a new bar. It was a great showing for Seattle, and it gave you guys a nice target for the Beanpot.
You know it.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of our social graphics?
Yeah, I have. That's right. Yeah.
That's our plan. That's the sort of set your eyes on this and then let's do more, right?
Yeah, that's what you want.
The challenge to Boston right now.
Vancouver also sold out their home opener over 15,000. And to help with the crowd sizes, because they've been a little overwhelmed, the rink is converting some of the men's washrooms to women's washrooms for Golden Eyes home games.
I saw that.
The changed washrooms will be clearly marked and staffed to help guide fans to make sure there's no issues. And the rink is also working to introduce mobile food service options to improve convenience and combat long lines.
Yeah, I guess they, like when I went to not Garth Brooks, I went to Luke Bryan at the Dome in Syracuse.
Okay. Oh, the Carrier Dome?
I thought I was gonna die. Like just trying to get to the bathroom. Like the crowds, the concourses there were so tight. And I was like, if there was ever an emergency or a fire, people would die. Like, you couldn't even get to your seats or to the bathroom. You couldn't figure out the difference between a concession line and people trying to get through.
That's like my nightmare, dude.
That's like a flow thing. And I mean, all this, all right, just pick on it for a minute, because I mean, it's obviously awesome problem to have, but like all this planning and all these things saying Vancouver is unique and you've got your own everything, and Sarah Nurse and the players going on and saying, I've never been committed to like this before. This is unreal. You didn't think about this? Did you think they weren't going to come, the people?
I don't know. Well, that's what I said.
I mean, you didn't know that if 15,000 people came in this building that this might be a problem?
Well, I wonder if the 15,000 people, they expected to be more of a split, like a 50-50, 60-40 men, women, and maybe it was 70-30 and it was overwhelmed.
Issue with just volume, like if they're talking about mobile, like the food stuff and everything. But
yeah, I don't know, because Vancouver Canucks must be able to, when you're at a Canucks game, to order at your seat, right? Don't all the rinks have that now? And maybe they just weren't. Who knows? But that's what I'm talking about. The league's batting close to 1,000. It's little missteps like this, but they're young enough and small enough and nimble enough with the one ownership group that they can address these things right away.
Yeah.
So hopefully. And then something that they might not be able to address right away. All right. So let me talk about this. The Italy women's hockey team. They're beginning a 6-week training block in Canada. With the team arrived late last month. The team's under the guidance of Victoire GM Daniel Savageau, thank you, and new coach Eric Bouchard. Part of the training block will include exhibition games against Canadian universities as they prepare for the 2026 Olympics. Have you seen what's going on with the rink in Italy on the news?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the NHL
this happens every time, though. There's all these like red flag, and then they just end up playing.
Well, my question is that they're talking about the NHL, how it's a smaller sheet, and now the NHLPA is like, oh, maybe we're not going to go. And, I forget the second in command for the NHL. He's like, we're definitely going to be there in 2030. And it's like, well, what about now? And all this talk, there's been not a peep from the PWHL. So they're just going to go no matter what. That's what I was getting out of that, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. I don't know what's right and what's not right. I mean, it can't be incorrect, but at the same time, I feel like this happens with venues were leading up to the Olympics. They're like, it's not ready. It's not ready. Like,
Right.
we're not going to be able to do it. Like, or not, they just, and then they just end up going and playing. And
Well, the
so,
players want to go. That's the big thing. The players want
yeah,
to go more than anything.
yeah.
And then the nervous part about the players going is Team Canada might be in a little bit of trouble. They've lost the rivalry series already. They've dropped 4 straight, counting the last year. USA demolished them Wednesday night 10-4. It was the first time in history that the Canadian senior national team had double digits dropped on them. The previous high was when the US beat them 9-2 in 2012. I saw something in they're being outscored like 20-6, and they're just getting worked. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, the previous feedback was that they were missing players, right? Like
Right.
Jenner and was Nurse missing too?
Nurse
Yeah.
she's injured. Yeah.
Yeah, she's injured. But they were missing players, right? So they get them back. But I mean, what a tough night for the goalies. I mean, these poor goalies, I was like, oh man, this is just, I mean, the players, I will say, like, I was talking to my contacts at Canada, and having a little text back and forth. And I mean, US did look like fast and creative and was on, but I have not seen the Canada D. They were still at breakfast or something. Like, they were not, hadn't even started their day. Like, I haven't seen D like that, like fast and Ambrose get beat off the wall a couple times. So something was going on. Something was off. I will also say, though, sometimes you need a little bumps and some bruises to get where you need to be. And I'm American all the way, but I want, there's been years when US has won when they did the tour all year long, because that was their training ground, and US won every game and went 14-0 and then lost the gold.
Right.
So I don't think, like, those drops in the ratings or all those things, that it could be like, I think what makes it hard is someone like Sophie Jakes might have been on the bubble and then she scores 2 goals. So she looked like the only one that was playing, for Canada, like, well on D. So I don't know if it makes it harder for coaches. It's going to be very interesting to see when they come down to picking the team that game's not going to make or break Aaron Ambrose.
Right.
Like, but can it make or break Sophie Jakes? I don't
Well,
know.
it's also
They all can't make it.
It's not going to be like take a bomb to the roster, but there could be some tweaks, and like you saying, bubble players. And I think on the flip side of it, I think like Abby Murphy has shown that she should be on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, God, she's unbelievable the way she plays.
I know.
I love watching her play.
Yeah.
So that was our international talk. Now let's go a little closer to home. Let me put this picture up here. There we go. The last game at Matthews, for those that are listening, that's a picture of, I think they said it was over 100 alumni. I don't know if they're all in that picture.
Over 100. Probably.
But that was after the game.
Yeah.
That was after the actual Northeastern game. Everyone got on the ice and took a picture. And great. I mean, great picture. You want to name everybody left, right?
Not on this view.
No,
but
it's a great picture though.
Yeah, the day started with a skate. So there was a game. Both benches were completely full, like 20-ish players each.
I was told 25 aside is what I was told.
I was very busy in my coaching role. With my mimosa. So every player had a mimosa.
Just
too,
like in the NCAA. It's just like
I mean, there's so many pictures of me. Like, Nicole was walking around taking pictures, and the kids were around, and like, I'd just be talking to somebody on the bench with this is just water, but it could be anything. But yeah, so it was fun. I just bebopped between the benches and just caught up with people, and sometimes I took some of my old pals that I coached when I was first at Northeastern and benched them and things like that, just for good old time's sake. So the skate, then a family skate, that was extremely busy. We went over to Two Saints. We celebrated Don McLeod, who's
Yep,
pioneer
I
coach
saw
at
those pictures.
Northeastern. We celebrated his 90th birthday. So there was a cake over there. And then we went back to the rink, took in the game. It was extremely busy. It was hard to even sit down. I was all over the place. People were up in a lot in the upper concourse there talking. And then after the game, we went on the ice. They gave out these awesome pucks.
Yep.
And then we went to Lucy at the bottom of the bar restaurant at the bottom of the Colonnade Hotel. It was like so awesome, but so many non-conversations. Like so many people I saw, I was like, "Oh, hey, I'm so glad you're here." Tatum Claremont from Ontario flew in on the same plane as Haley Masters from Ontario, but they didn't know each other were going. And I gave Tatum a big hug, said hi, and like I was literally, we were flying home on Sunday because my family and I, we flew. We just could not do another round trip,
Right.
Rochester to Boston. And I was like, I think that's all I said to Tatum. I think that's like, so many people, I was like, hey, how's it going? How are you? And then not how's your family? What are you doing? There
Right.
wasn't time with 100+ people to, and your 2 kids on the ice. I
Yeah,
mean,
well, not only, I mean, like you and I texted from in the rink, and I saw
I
you
didn't
when I
even
was
see
up in
you.
the
Yeah.
balcony. I could see you looking, and I'm like, all right, well, that's as close. I mean, it was, I can't imagine what it was like for you as someone who played and coached there. Like for
Yeah.
me, I've been like, what, like 8 steps removed as part of it, right? From
Yeah.
for the last, say, 8 years. And even I was overwhelmed, like seeing people from like a section away and be like, hey, and but you don't have time to like connect because the game was going on. And we got there towards the end of the family skate. We went on the ice, and then we were on the ice after the game as well. There were so many people, and like we were sitting
You
with
were there at the
parents.
family skate?
Yeah, yeah, we got there at the
Oh,
end of the family skate. Riley
I didn't
was
even see you then.
no, Riley was up against it because she was so tired and hungry. And so the family skate ended, and Riley wanted to eat, so we ended up going to Symphony Sushi. And I
My
kept
gosh.
looking over at Two Saints because I saw everybody going in, and
Yeah.
Lori's like, "Do you want to go to the bar?" I'm like, "No, no, 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 I'm good," because I felt like that
Why
was a
didn't
trap.
you?
I felt like it was a trap, and I wasn't gonna fall into it. So I stayed at Symphony Sushi, and we had a nice lunch, and then we went to the bookstore and spent more money for Riley to buy more stuff. And
Listen,
then
there's no such thing as a trap in that moment, right?
no,
Like
that
we
was a trap.
were, Nicole was solo with the kids since Tuesday. I was in Boston since Tuesday because I did the UNH game.
Right.
Then I did the conference at Guinness. And then we decided we were going to fly because we were just like, I was going to come home on a
I
plane on
remember.
Thursday
Yeah.
and then we were going to drive to Boston. And I was like, we can't do this. Like, I mean, we're not Rockefellers, but this is ridiculous. Like,
Right,
we
right,
got to
right.
take the hour flight. And our kids were so excited. But I pulled like, we're at Lucy and the kids need to go to bed and it's like 11:30, 11. It was late for 6 and a 9-year-old. And Nicole was like, I got it. I'm going. And I was like, okay, see you later. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, wait
Um,
till next week when you tell me how much that bit you in the ass this week.
oh, I know. I know how to turn it on when I get
All right.
home.
All right. Hope she's
So
not listening. But yeah, it was a, I will say, I mean, that's probably the send off. You can't ask for a better send off. The game was awesome,
yeah,
right? It was down to the
game was
wire,
freaking phenomenal.
down to the
Oh,
wire.
Sammy
And
Tabor's goal was
oh
incredible.
yeah, yeah. That was when she
Yeah,
batted, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Um, and I will say, I know Striker Zablocki scored the empty netter, which is technically the last goal in Matthews. But I'm giving it to Shan for the game winner. And if you remember, when we were at the golf
yeah. The
tournament,
golf tournament. Yep.
we asked, and Riley Jones predicted it was going to be Lily Shannon. So shout out to Riley Jones.
Oh man, Shannon was like overwhelmed after she scored it. Like I continued to watch because we were down by the glass because they were waiting. We were supposed to go down there 5 minutes left,
Hmm.
but the game was to walk out on the ice after, and the game
Yep.
was tied. But it's so all the alumni were down by the Zamboni
Oh,
against the
okay. Yep.
glass, and the game was tied. And then when Shannon scored, like everybody was going nuts together.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. But I watched Shannon come down the bench and then come back around, and then she just like put her hands on her
Yeah.
knees, like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? Like, such a good moment.
So I've had like maybe say 4 or 5 conversations with Lily Shannon, and I
Yeah.
will say the thing that's impressed me the most about her is she's a great captain, right? They all look up to her, they
Mhm.
all follow her, but she's aware of the moment and the magnitude of the moment, I feel, and it was so fitting that it was her because I feel like it wasn't she understood the gravity of that moment and
Yeah.
what it meant to not
But
just
the
her, but to
pass, the
everybody.
pass
Yeah.
through the
Oh god. Yeah.
defender right
Yeah.
in front of the goalie, like,
Yeah.
couldn't have been more thread the needle, right?
Yeah. It was awesome.
Um,
What a day.
it was a day, and I had people. Jackie Crum texted me. She must have been watching it online.
No,
They left
it
the
was on
whole.
ESPN and Nesson.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. But
Oh yeah.
the like the streaming or whatever. But um, they left it on the broadcast. Sometimes when you watch it on ESPN, you don't get like what you get from Nesson.
Right.
Like like puck drop stuff, all
Yep.
of that, like isn't always on Nesson. I mean on ESPN. But the local covers it. But Jackie texts me later. I don't know if she's watching it later. I'm trying to think about this timing because I was actually with Burns at Lucy and I got a text from Jackie being like, "Oh my god, are you in Boston? I'm watching this post game thing. This is incredible."
No, that's awesome.
She was like, "What a testament!" And then Burns and I took a selfie and sent it to her, and she was like, "Ah."
That's
She's
great.
like, "Hi guys." So I had several people text me saying they were watching it on TV and wondering if I was there, and I was like, "Duh, of course I'm here.
The
Been here all week."
after the game, we went out and got on the ice and we were taking pictures. And I think we're going to use a picture of me, Lori, and Riley on the Northeastern bench as our Christmas card this year, which should be a good one. It was a good picture. So, are you ready for my
That's a
complete?
good idea.
You ready for my horrible moment that I had that I involved you in?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh God.
And the
Oh
fact that
God.
you haven't called me, I was so sweating a text from you, like, what the hell? That I was like, oh no. And I didn't hear from you for like 3 days after Northeastern. I'm like, oh, she's so mad at me. So we're on the ice after the game,
Okay.
and Lori, me, and Riley, and Lori's kind of by the bench. Me and Riley are walking around, like, and then
Yeah.
we went out to the logo to take a picture, the three of us. So we're out there, and Kendall Coyne Schofield goes gliding by. I don't know who she was with someone that I know, but I can't think of her name. Was she with Florence Schelling? Whatever, whoever she was with.
Oh, probably. They were talking after that. Yeah.
So whoever
Yeah.
she was with, but my daughter Riley walks by and Kendall Coyne looks at her and like smiled. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is my intro right here. Because I've never met her.
Why
So
didn't
I
you
go,
come get me?
I didn't know where you were. So I go, hey, Kendall. And she looks over, she's like, hey, I'm like, hi, I'm at, I introduce myself and I, tell her, I literally blanked
I'm
out.
not sure I want you to finish this.
Yeah, well,
If it involves me.
it involves you because I told her about the podcast and
Okay.
I'm like, it's me and Linda and Kelly and blah blah blah. She's like, oh, that's great. I go, yeah. I go, I meant to say we'd love to have you on, but I think what I said was Linda's got you on or something to that effect. And the look on her face was like, what? And I was like, and then immediately I was like, oh, you fucked up. And I was just trying to backpedal out of it. Buddy, I panicked, choked, and I hoped I said to Lori, I go, there's a good chance that Kendall's gonna see Linda and be like, who the fuck is this chooch coming up to me on the ice saying you're coming on our podcast?
Well, you made it sound like I was like making an assumption that she's coming on or something like that. I
You
don't know.
in
I'll
my
text her.
mind, it was, hey, Linda says that she knows you. We'd love to have you on the podcast. That's what meant to come out of my mouth. But what
Oh my
came out of my
God.
mouth was like, Linda
We should not
said
be
you
recording this conversation.
podcast. Oh, it was horrible. Horrible.
You were starstruck.
I was. She's intense, dude, and
She
she
is
had
intense
me
sometimes.
lasered in, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
no." Yeah.
Oh God.
So,
Oh, sweet,
Kendall,
sweet
if you're
Spanish
ever listening to
control.
this, I apologize, and I'd love to have you come on the podcast.
I have like a do better for myself,
Oh, is
actually.
that's
And
my
then we
do
can
better, that whole story.
okay, that's good. Let's finish with do better.
Yeah,
How about
we'll
that?
leave the other stuff for next pod.
Yeah, because we're,
Yeah.
tight in time here. But yeah, my do better is that so I was Well, first of all, I said I had so many non-conversations. I mean, Florence came with her baby, who's 3 months old, from Switzerland, staying in my same
Wow.
hotel. She was really busy. I didn't get over to the hotel till Friday. She had plans Friday afternoon. I finally saw her and her mom, which is so great. Her mom flew over with her, and I didn't get to hold the baby. One, we didn't really have as much conversation as I wanted to have. She just got inducted into the IHF Hall of Fame.
Right.
And then in the midst of being there, I see this pop up about her being on a podcast, Next Gen, Jocks, a spinoff from PW, Jocks and Jills, called Jocks Next Gen. And they're talking about the next generation of players to come to the PWHL. So they have a
Oh,
couple
cool.
episodes out. They're really good. It's Emma Buckles and Florence, and they talk about in the beginning when they introduce themselves how they're both Beanpot champions, which I was like, I don't know, would get my applause for. And
God.
but I was so mad that I didn't talk about any of that with her. Like I didn't get in.
Well, now you have a
So
reason to reach out.
I wrote her after
Mhm.
on our on WhatsApp or whatever, and I said I didn't get to talk about any of this, and I didn't even hold your baby. This is ridiculous. We stayed in the same hotel, and I was like, by the way, I also didn't know you were doing a podcast. That's so awesome. Do you know I have a podcast? And she was like, you do? Tell me more. And so my do better is that a lot of people don't even know that we're doing this or that I'm
Okay.
doing this if they know me. And
Right.
I guess I'm not doing a good job of, we know I don't do a good job on socials, but
Buddy,
I
it's an
really,
uphill learning curve, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But she was like, oh, you do? I mean, not that I expected to just drop in people's lap. They're busy, but I just figure I see things on social media. Like, why don't other people?
Yeah, but
But
everybody's
I
algorithm
run
is
across a
different.
lot of people who are like, even Lash today was like, I can't get on. I'm looking for the podcast. I was like, I'll send it to you,
Mm.
but a lot of people just don't know.
Yeah.
So this is very similar to our Beanpot efforts. Like awareness is the first step,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So,
Well, look
um,
at the plus side for you is that at least now Florence knows about it, whereas my
yeah.
interaction, Kendall hates it. So,
Oh my God, you're a donkey.
oh, that was one of my biggest donkey moments in my entire life. I was so like over
I'm
like my
sure it's
brain,
fine.
I short circuited.
Yeah.
My only saving grace is I kept saying to Lori afterwards, I'm like, well, I know she was with Katie, and hopefully she's like, yeah, some jackass, and Katie will be like, oh, that's just Brownie, he's fine. Hopefully Katie don't stuck up for me.
Yeah, I'll have to do some surveillance and
Yeah,
check it out.
yeah, for sure. Well, that's what we had for you this week. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, tell 100 of your closest friends, and it sounds like tell 100 of Linda's closest friends to about the podcast.
How close am I with them? I don't talk to them when I see them. But yeah, spread the word.
Thanks for
Oh,
tuning in, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
bye for now.